Welcome everyone to the Crom Transmission presents the 5th annual Kinston Open supported by Innova. This is a golf course and it's one of the longest layouts that we've got to play and see all year, almost 10,500 feet long. Harry, welcome back to the booth. How you doing? Are you ready for some exciting action featuring Anthony Anselmo, Blake Poland, Nathan Queen, and Jake Rice?
Excited to be here. We have a beautiful course for you guys today. On the easier side, we have 16 holes playing under par for the field. And as Raivis mentioned, a foursome of all North Carolina boys. So maybe not all of them local, but we will see who can put on for their home state the most. And excited to get to the action for you guys.
Yeah, big thank you to our other sponsors. You'll see them throughout the presentation on the tee signs, but as well as Scorpion Disc Golf and Bobcat Buckley, who was able to do some catch cam work on this feature card. This is one of the most exciting feature cards because I haven't actually seen a lot of these players play. I've seen Nathan Queen a little bit on coverage, but Blake Poland, he has a super powerful forehand. Jake Rice has a killer backhand. And then you got the superstar, Anthony Anselmo.
I'm Blake Poland. I'm from Greenville, North Carolina, and I'm on Team Infinite.
How's it going? I'm Nathan Queen, sponsored by Infinite Discs, RZA Technologies, Local Line Apparel, and Dark Ace Apparel. Appreciate your guys' support, and thank you guys for filming this weekend.
I'm Anthony Anselmo from Kings Mountain, North Carolina, and I'm sponsored by Dynamic Disc and Team Scorpion.
My name is Jake Rice. I'm from Marion, North Carolina. Sponsored by Scorpion Disc Golf, Aquatic Disc, and Pure Root Botanicals. Out here, a little sample pack of their gummies. Get rooted.
So here we go, hole one. This one kind of threw me off because there's a Mando that's on the right-hand side that you have to avoid. So a lot of players are going to stay left of this, throw a roller or go through the gap here. And you can see it's a kind of inviting hole, 650 feet. But the secret is you have to kind of throw it long enough so that you have an easy approach. You don't want to make this approach difficult.
Yeah, first time seeing the course as well. Pretty clear to me, distance will have a good advantage here. Looks like we do have some gap hits off hole one, but I think the distance thrower is going to be the favorite in this one. Yeah,
that is a good point. You're going to see that distance is definitely key. And MP40, we got to play the same layout, golds. It was quite a killer layout, and you can see Blake Poland taking a lot off on hole one with a really good roller. That was one of the best rollers I saw all weekend, actually.
Yeah, talk about the angle on that one. Almost looked like it was moving in slow motion. Blake gets that angle down perfectly, able to roll pretty much as far as it could, it looked like. Great shot on hole one. And here is Anthony Anselmo, as you mentioned. Highest rated player in the field, I believe, and collegiate disc golf athlete at a UNC Chapel Hill. So from North Carolina, stays in North Carolina. Don't know how much he knows about this course, but I do know powerful and consistent lefty forehand. You're going to be seeing that on repeat all day.
And here's Jake Rice. I believe he's going to be throwing the roller as well. It's a good play. I didn't even think of it when I was practicing it. And here you go. Not getting the same angle as the other guys, but still a good throw. Yeah, that's a good recap for Anthony Anselmo if you guys didn't know. He is one of the best collegiate players. He's very young. He's sponsored by Dynamic Disc, and he's in that 1030 range already. It's quite impressive. And here we go, Nathan Queen, most likely throwing something like a Wraith, getting down there. I know he threw his Wraiths a lot on this course.
Yeah, a player like Nathan probably initially excited to have another lefty on the card. It looks like those two actually even sharing a golf cart, but still going to have opposite spins on most of the shots for these. I believe Anthony's primary forehand, and, well, we won't see too many of those out of Nathan, so very clean approach there. Looks to be near bullseye.
Circle one, and Anthony kind of leaving it a little short, so he's going to have a tester putt. Let's see what he can do here. And I personally, this is the first time I got to play on a golf course with golf carts. Have you ever got to play with golf carts?
I have one time during a sanctioned event, also an A tier in Pennsylvania. And yeah, it's certainly fun.
It is fun.
I
And
would
then
recommend.
getting to choose who gets to drive, I mean, that was the contention point for us. But it was really, really fun to be able to drive on golf carts. It saved a lot of energy on your feet. As a cameraman, it was awesome because I was able to get in front of these players very quickly and set up much faster than usual. So here's Blake Poland also with the tester, leaving it long, but right in the heart for the birdie. Good 3 there. This hole averaged 3.8, so kind of a must get for the MPO field. We had 50 MPO players, pretty good stack.
Here we have Anthony. I mentioned lefty, but looks like he's hitting us with the righty putt.
He's a switcher.
Got to be one of the more rare things you'll see out of a top-tier professional disc golfer. Throwing lefty, putting righty, and we'll see what that consistency looks like throughout the day. So far, really clean stroke and birdie on the board for Anthony.
He's one of the smoothest forehanders as well as one of the smoothest putters I think I've seen on coverage. And here's Jake Rice getting that birdie. 38% birdie rate, 46% par rate, and 16% bogey rate. So pretty fair for the first hole. Hole 2 is going to be a little different. It's going to play a little harder.
Not a bad way to start.
And it's 351 feet, and it's got OB on the left-hand side. One of the more pretty holes that you'll see on the course, with the only danger being the water.
Blake showing us that forehand hyzer power.
Ooh, very nice shot by Blake there.
Going roller on 1 and forehand on 2. So it looks like we'll have Blake showing us multiple spins all day.
Yeah, he's a very versatile player. And here's Anthony.
Heading towards the water, it looks like, and played very well.
So like we were saying in the beginning, this is the 5th annual Kinston Open. So some of these players are used to this course, and they haven't changed the layouts too much. And Jake Rice leaving it a little short. He's going to have a very long circle 2 bid. Going back to Blake Poland, he's 10-14 rated from Greenville. He had a very good season. And Nathan almost jamming it in, a little short there. But let's take a look. Blake Poland won the Onslow Cup B tier back in August, winning $1,000, and then a couple second place events. Jake Rice leaving it a little short there, but for an easy par. And I say this hole difficult because there was more bogeys, but it actually averaged a little better than the previous hole. This averaged 2.92. Intimidating putt for Nathan, it looked like.
Yeah, that slope, kind of the perfect place for a basket, as most can see, and definitely going to reward the close drive on this one. Can be sketchy to run that putt from distance. You can see Nathan didn't quite have the commitment. His putt always kind of looks like that, a little wobbly, a little hyzery. So don't confuse that with under commitment, but the height is what you're going to need to see out of Nathan if he wants those to drop.
And he prefers the straddle, I've noticed. He's on his tippy toes a lot. Anthony Anselmo, back-to-back birdies, cashing in the 34% birdie rate with the field. What do you think of this hole, Harry? This is a sweet hole, right?
Yeah, very beautiful, especially this green right here. You know, it's always interesting playing on a golf course. It feels a little bit different, but through 2 holes, I like the design so far.
They did a really good job. I believe the baskets last year were not the Innova baskets, so they had the 28 chains here. And we're moving on to hole 3. This is an interesting hole because you're going to see some players go a different route than the drone route. I thought that this was the preferred route or the only route, going down up the middle and then kind of creating a tunnel shot and experience for the players. But what you're going to see that there's a sneaky gap side on the right that you could take a hyzer line and it opens up. And the green is guarded by this one big, beautiful tree that really prevents any sort of high shots coming in. It'll knock it down, most likely getting you a circle 2 putt. So very cool design. terms of having a few ways of getting there.
Yeah, definitely interesting. Always good to see golf courses utilize these areas here. And yeah, hopefully we'll see some of this woods come into play. Kind of hard to tell from here where these players are going to be landing, but I think we'll be able to see on the second shot.
And you can see Anthony's actually going up the middle here. He's going to be throwing a Raivis, flips up perfectly. He knows his discs very well. I mean, to have that angle and then be able to break that late is very impressive. And this was the first time anybody saw that there was a hyzer gap. So Anthony Anselmo, he's the flicker. He just saw that for the first time, and he's now convinced that he's going to be taking that for the rest of the tournament. So pay attention to that. It's very cool that nobody, I mean, if it wasn't for Jake, we wouldn't even known about that line. And that's the traditional lefty line for Nathan. Great pull there.
Yeah, good looking shot.
We got a little replay here. Love it.
Nathan known for these hyzer stand-ups, and perfectly gets to a little bit of hyzer angle, enough to keep it pushing forward, but also get that nice skip. Should be in good position for the bird.
Yeah, he's wide enough where he's going to be able to approach the green much better and easier than most of these other players. Not going to get the birdie. Anthony Anselmo, unfortunately, gets knocked down with the approach. A little upset there. This hole averaged 3.7, so it's getting easier and easier as we go through these 3 holes.
This looks like a nice line from Blake.
Yeah, he's so smooth. 10-14 rated in Greenville. That's not easy to do.
Looks like a preferred approach from Nathan here. Out in the open, has that airspace to work with. And nice simple hyzer. Looks pretty close once again.
He broke that hole pretty easily. And you can see that they added OB on the left-hand side with those white flags, but nothing on the right-hand side where Jake was.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if they're going to be adding mandatories next year, but that right-hand side was really open for a hyzer line.
If this doesn't tell you we won't be seeing many backhands today, I don't know what will. We just saw Nathan take that line with all that airspace, and Anselmo going for the much more technical lefty forehand approach. I mean, it just needs to be so much more perfect. It's honestly impressive to see someone rated that high and not use what is clearly the more higher percentage shot. So interested to see what we'll see out of him for the rest of the coverage, but if you can make it work, you can make it work, and looks like he's going to be cleaning up his par as Blake misses his birdie chance there.
After connecting on a really good one on hole 1, I'm surprised he missed that one. And Anthony Anselmo, you're right. That was a very tricky line. He could have easily taken that hyzer bid, and he stuck with the forehand. But look how close he is. I mean, that was textbook, and the disc control is out of this world for this kid.
I mean, yeah, the crazy thing about disc golf when you get up to this level is if you're playing well, a 20-footer is basically as good as parked. So we don't need to be bullseyeing every single shot, especially this day. Looks pretty low wind, so I'd expect the 20-footers to be going in for Anthony all day as a 1030 rated player. And as long as he just gets somewhere in the circle, I like his chances.
Yeah, he's a very good putter. And I played with him at Southeast in Columbia, and I was super impressed. Again, that disc control, even on some of the tunnels, was very impressive. So when he comes out here and was able to bomb, I was just taken back. So anyways, here is hole 4, 681 feet, par 4. This hole averaged 3.8 for the field, so we're getting a little more difficult. This is a very open tee shot for most of these players. They're just going to be taking their driver. The secret is just having a really good approach and getting close enough for the approach.
All these par 4s so far seem to be a little under 2-shot holes. This one coming in at 681. We'll see what the approach looks like, but we saw Blake on the first par 4 put a roller to nearly a jump putt. And on that last hole, looked like it's soft putter in if you execute the drive well. So we'll see if 681, we get a little more action on these second shots.
So that's a really good point. So I think what you're going to find is that, yes, they're a little shorter. They're like a lot of 3.5s, I would quote. But the approaches have hazards. They have bunkers, and they always are somewhat guarded by maybe 1 or 2 trees. So they did figure that in or take that into account. So keep that in mind as you're watching the coverage if you notice anything different.
Yeah, so far the design seems great for this level, I would say. Scoring separation has been pretty even through every hole. And obviously we're seeing 4 of the best players in the whole tournament here dissect these courses. But we have a wide range of players in our MPO divisions at A tiers. And I think the course is doing its job so far, separating the players.
Yeah, Nathan, he was able to choose between going around or through, and he kind of chose through and left himself short. So there is that element of also making decisions on this course, which I like. I like courses that make you think a little bit about the approach. So there we go. There's that one element, he left it way too high.
Yeah, interested to see it. I would, my mind on a golf course, low ceiling like that tends to go to the skip shot. But I see that bunker you're talking about. It's pretty well placed for the hole. Is that what Jake just found right there?
I think he might have actually, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
it's a pretty simple hole, not so simple, right? Three of the better players are not getting birdies. Well, potentially. We'll see if Nate hits this. I didn't know he was that close. Oh, what do we call that?
just short.
Sorry, Nathan. I was rooting for you there, though. I feel your pain. Yeah, he definitely was in the bunker, so they're a hazard here.
All right, so makes the putt for a par, I would say. And yeah, that I really like the design of that. Well-placed basket location near that bunker. You saw it. Turned a relatively routine approach into 2 pars for both Jake and Blake. Jake, of course, going in the bunker, and Blake trying to get that height to avoid it. So Anselmo, carding the only birdie on the card.
And making the putt look very easy again. That was a 24-footer that looked like 12 feet for him. This is a par 5. We are moving on to hole 5, 910 feet. You can choose to go left or right. They have OB elements both ways. You have this you have this cart path on the left, and then you have flagged OB on the right. Most players do take the hyzer. You're taking less risk that way because you're going to be landing more in the center around here. And then you're going to have to shoot a really nice upshot, 2 upshots potentially, depending on how far you throw through these woods in this thicket here, approaching a very nice green, and it's a raised basket, so it does have a little bit of teeth to it. This hole averaged 5.04, so this is the hardest hole so far that you've faced as players.
Nice stock shot there from Anthony, able to go around that tree. And we see the other approach here from Nathan.
So Blake Poland taking the forehand. We already know that he has a very powerful forehand. Come on, he doesn't like it though.
Yeah, that did not look like a happy clap, as we say.
Oh, yeah. So he's gonna have to take that early. That's not good. Not for a par 5. That's 900 feet. What would you take? You take the hyzer here, right?
Surely.
Yeah. Ah, weird reaction for Jake there, but he's safe. That's all that matters. I will say when there was headwind, that shot is a lot harder, that hyzer. And Blake going with a really nasty roller here. and getting it back into position so he can take his 4 from there.
Okay.
Still has a lot of work to do, though. Jake Rice also has a nice forehand. He has a powerful forehand. I didn't realize that. He was throwing mostly backhand. Very versatile player. Like it.
Looks like a tricky lie here for Nathan. Going to swing that hyzer. Very interesting there, and takes this golf cart path skip.
Gotta play it.
What a highlight. Yeah, he looked like he disked to a flippier than normal driver there and really hit it on a committed hyzer line. That was a beautiful shot hanging out over that OB. Anselmo through the forest, misses them all. Looks like he's pretty happy with that result.
Yeah, and look at Blake. He's got a great spot in the middle here. But that is so far from the basket still. So he's going to be looking at a 6 potentially, because I don't know if he's going to be able to make that putt from there. And here is Jake's 3rd shot. Jake finished 5th in the 4th Kinston Open, so he's, again, very familiar with this layout. You could tell that he's kind of comfortable out there.
Nathan needs one more quality shot here to earn that birdie.
Yeah, that's a very quality. Oh my gosh. Nathan Queen getting the easy bird most likely on 5 here. I mean, he's under the basket.
Yeah, all 3 of his birdies have been nearly tap-in approaches, so
Very clean.
it's been the key for him today. Those circle 2 putts haven't dropped so far, but that one will count it.
He was injured, right? Was he was out for like a good portion of the year, I thought?
Somewhat recently, yeah.
Yeah.
This might be in the midst of that, so good to see him back playing.
Yeah, no, I think this is one of his first comeback events. And there we go, easy up and down for Anthony. He's going to be looking for his 4th birdie out of the first 5 holes. He's on a good streak. He's on a very good streak already.
Yeah, Elmo must be watching the Sesame Street because he is counting those birdies. 1, 2, 3.
And here we go. Come on, look at the highlight putt. Ah, a little short. So Jake Rice is going to be taking me a 5 there. And Blake, here is his bogey putt.
It's like Nathan being a good car mate there, waiting to swat that mosquito until Blake makes his putt.
The bugs were bad. You can see almost on every putt, Anthony Anselmo's swapping.
It's his new pre-putt routine.
So pretty good par 5 though, right? You like that?
Sure, yeah.
I like that tee shot, making decisions off the tee like that. And again, pretty nice green. I love greens like this. They give it a nice little element. It's not too easy. Now this is one of my favorite holes. This is also another par 5. This averaged 4.77. I'm not sure how, because this I felt like played really tough for me the first time seeing it. You have to shoot over the water. You could take a hyzer approach or through the gap like you saw the Jerome take. And then you have to kind of make sure that you land your second shot in this vicinity and then approach an island green almost.
Wow.
So they're using the greens and fairways very well for this hole, and can be almost confusing for players because it's so long when you're playing it.
Shot's all about placement right here for Anthony. And that looks very well placed. Right through the
Yeah.
middle of the gap, fading left.
Hearing that there is a hyzer gap, you can go kind of around these trees. Would you go through it or around it?
I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell on camera the size of the gap.
It's small. Nathan didn't make it. And he's a very good player.
Wow, did that drop in the water as well?
Yeah, so he's going to have to take it pretty far back and then go across the water again.
Yeah, hard to tell from just the camera, but with all 3 players going up the middle so far, looks like the play for most people.
It's the play if you want the easy bird. I think if you take the hyzer, you're kind of taking the birdie out of the play. But this is being the aggressive line, in my opinion. Because you can easily take a hyzer and land in that bunker right up there. But Jake, very good shot there. He's going to be in a good spot. He's going to have to throw a slight turnover for that second approach there. Oh, that's got to get up. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Nice safe shot by Blake there, showing once again his range of a player. And yeah, you can see Nathan, he's going to have to go back as far as, I don't think this is a drop zone. I think you can actually go far as back as you want from where it went out, as long as it's in line with the basket. And he's going to be on the left-hand side. It's going to make his hyzer a lot easier. Oh my gosh. Jake snuck through there and then hit the ground and was able to scoot all the way up safely there. That was very fortunate for Jake, saving potentially the birdie look. And here's Nathan's third shot, or excuse me, fourth shot, because he went OB. He'll be in a good spot, potentially taking the sixth though. Look at that shot, Harry.
Yeah, he's given us a full flight every single time. Great angles on the forehand.
So that's where this is probably where the most trouble happens on this hole, this turn right here. You can see Blake almost didn't make it. Jake barely made it. So depending on where you are with that landing spot, that second shot is very difficult sometimes, especially if you're going to try to bite off a lot more than you can chew. Jake getting very fortunate, and let's see if he can get up and down for the birdie.
Yeah, hard to tell what's going on there. He might have actually been out of bounds. We'll have to see what transpires for the rest of the hole, but I think that's very likely that was his fourth shot.
All right, Nathan. He's going to be taking a six there, making that putt most likely, and this is Blake's third shot, so he broke that hole pretty easily.
So yeah, he was OB on that second approach and had that look for par, and will unfortunately have to settle for the bogey.
Anthony, look at this putt. It's so clean. Like, that was 27 feet, and he just drops it in like it's 5 feet away. And it's a very consistent flight path of that disc, up and down, going down as soon as it hits the change. It's impressive.
Best players are the ones who are making it look easy. Elmo, 5 down through 6.
Yeah, we're going to have to get the he's on fire graphic. Hole 7 is going to be a little bit of a change of pace from what we just played, the 2 par 5s back to back. This is a par 3, 248 feet. We're doing a little backward drone here for you so you can see the full path coming from the basket. I love this angle. You can see how tight it is, and you can see that there's OB on the left-hand side and right-hand side with the cart paths. Very well designed hole. And again, use of golf courses, which you probably never use, but are perfect for disc golf.
Yeah, GMT showing you guys why you watch this channel. Innovation. First ever backwards drone flight I've ever seen, and takes us all the way to the tee. See what Anthony's got for us.
Well, we do it for our sponsor, Innova. And here we go, Anthony Anselmo. Oh my gosh, he pured that gap. Another birdie chance for Anthony, potentially going for 6 for 7. Oh, we got our first replay for Anthony. And let's see how pure he makes this.
Yeah, I'm going to say that's an easy 6-7 right there.
6 for 7. Let's go. This hole averaged 2.77, so I would expect for 248 to average a little lower, but you know, you got a lot of the OB on the left and right. Oh, Blake.
Interesting gap there. Looked like a pretty clean line if you can hit it, but that's going to be a tough result.
Oh, Nathan also showing you how it's done up the middle. We got the young and the old players choosing to go up the middle, and then we got Jake and Blake choosing forehands.
There's that around the outside line. Very nicely done.
Yeah, I thought that's what Blake was trying to go for, but I think he went a little too wide. So this is Blake's second shot. Let's see if he can save the par with the up and down here.
Looks good.
Yeah. Should have just done that the first time, Blake. I'm pretty sure that's what you just said. And come on, Jake. You just missed the putt before. Let's see if you can make this one to bounce back. There we go. So what do you think of the change of pace of this hole compared to the 2 par 5s that you just had? I personally like it. Keeps you in check.
Yeah, I think as a course designer, trying to take a property like this and make it as challenging as possible while also giving a good fun variety, I think it's a great choice to kind of have the juxtaposition between those par 5s and a much shorter par 3.
Yeah, and the low ceiling is the key there. And you can see on hole 7, which is what we're moving on right here, this is hole 8, this is 366 feet. You also have to keep it low here. There's that one tree limb that's so low that you really have to get underneath it. And Anthony Anselmo is going to show you how to do that perfectly with this drive. My goodness, he's on fire.
Yeah, when you're used to the woods and there's no wind out here, courses like this can seem like a piece of cake. I'm sure Anthony can feel like he can miss his line by 30 or so feet and still be in the circle. That nice, consistent hyzer finish on the forehand there. So stress-free so far for him. Just throwing dimes.
And for righties, it's not stress-free. This hole has the low tree line, but also OB on the left-hand side. You can see that white painted line that goes all the way up the creek side, so you can't get a big skip. Golf courses like to skip, so we have to avoid that as players on this one. Blake, that was going to be parked.
Yeah, my advice to these righties here would be to take something bit more stable and throw it lower. You can use these skips to your advantage if you play the width. And hopefully they can recalibrate for round 2.
Yeah, a lot of these people made adjustments for sure. Some of them you'll actually see for round 2 or round 3. So Nathan, a little short there, probably upset. He's only a few down at this moment. Meanwhile, Anthony Anselmo is looking for his 7th birdie. Hard to keep up with that. I mean, as a player, when you see somebody just shredding, you just want to root for him, but also just, you know, it's so difficult to be motivated sometimes, especially right off the gate. That's why you don't look at scores, Harry.
Well, these players are all looking at it firsthand right now. I'm sure they know the type of run he's on. But that kind of tracks. I mean, this seems like the type of course where you'd expect that to happen. Hot scores are going to be all day. I'm guessing all these people know they're going to need better than just double digits to make the lead card. And you got to be getting those birdies. So on to the 9th here. We have a par 4, 672 feet.
Yeah, it's a hole that bends to the left. It's an interesting hole because it's almost like hole 4, you'll see, but it has a wooded element after the tee shot. So you're going to be having to navigate through some limbs. The secret is just making sure that you stay to the left. What Nathan is doing right here is going OB. You have to avoid that cart path on the right-hand side. You have a lot of room to play with. So in that respect, it's definitely harder than hole 4. This hole average, let's see, 3.94. Meanwhile, hole 4 averaged 3.47. So you can tell that it's definitely harder.
Yeah, back-to-back holes for Nathan that certainly don't play to his strengths. He's a primary lefty hyzer player, so.
It's a good point. Blake Poland getting a weird bounce, but he's going to be far enough to settle, most likely, for his birdie or par here. Here's the approach shot for Jake. You can see it's quite some distance left at 672, so it's 2 full shots. And he's going to be short.
Yeah, especially after that OB drive. That one's going to sting. Nathan trying to get a bit closer than that. Seems to have done it, but going to be a tough par to save from there.
Yeah, I was so surprised he went out of bounds. I feel like he is more of a veteran player. He should have known how to flip that disc or choose more of a flippy disc. I'm not sure if the wind just got it, but I was pretty surprised he went OB on that hole.
Blake smacking a tree, and I don't know if Anthony's hit a tree yet.
He really hasn't. The cleanest front 9 I think we've ever seen on GMT. He's going to be looking potentially for 8 for 9 to start, folks. Look at this.
Yeah, there's no potential on this one. That one's...
Oh, it went down the hill, though.
Oh, okay.
You'll never know. I'm not rooting against him, but you never know. Never count it out, right? And here we go. Blake Poland. This is his 3rd shot. After hitting that tree, putting a lot of mustard on it.
Yeah, doesn't like it.
So Blake is only 2 down at this moment. For someone that's 10-15 rated, I'm sure he thought he would be at least 4 or 5 by now. So this is a critical putt for him. This is for his par save.
Looks like hanging out around circle 1's edge, maybe dipping into circle 2.
Yeah, his average putting distance for round 1 was quite impressive, and that's a good putt. That was a really good putt.
Yeah, standstill up the hill. Hard to tell if that was in or out, but 30 feet at least.
Oh, for sure.
Made it look easy.
Let's see if Jake can get one as well. Unfortunately, Jake is looking at his 5th putt, I believe, or 5th shot, because he went OB. Ooh, that's a high number for this hole. 36% birdie rate, 40% par rate. And we just saw a double bogey, but we also saw a birdie. Nice shot, Anthony Anselmo. 8 for 9. You called it, Harry. That was a lot closer than I thought it was. And here's Jake to clean up his double bogey. All right, that is the front 9 coverage of Crom Transmission Automotive Specialist presents the 5th annual Kinston Open supported by Innova. What were your thoughts there, Harry?
Yeah, definitely saw a variety of scores shot on this course. We see Anselmo going on a heater, getting 8 of the 9 holes, and just a par on the rest. And yeah, no one on this card really coming close to that pace. We saw multiple times he'd take the only birdie. The rest of the fellas on the card are going to need to dig deep and catch up to this pace if they want a spot in this tournament.
Absolutely. Huge shout out and thank you to our sponsors, Scorpion Disc Golf, Innova Disc Golf, all of the ones that had hole sponsorships. We really appreciate you guys supporting this tournament. And again, thanks to all the players who showed up. This is a huge tournament. This is a big event for North Carolina and an A-tier with a lot of added cash. So make sure to stay tuned to the back 9 of the feature card where we'll see a lot more Anthony Anselmo and some of these other great players.